So I just released a video on how Palantir's shelf offering is a bullish signal from the company. Well, a few minutes after, we got a big news that $823 million contract that Palantir won. I've also shared in my previous videos about the 2021 contract graph, and well, Palantir is beating it. Well, let's take a look at some of the interesting things that happened right when the contract was announced. I'll also share a few trades as we close in the Q3 earnings. Now, as we got the news that Palantir won this big $823 million Army contract, now if you look at the contract closely, you will see two keywords, and that's pretty exciting. So this is the news that came out that Palantir won the big contract. Then after that, you see over here, there is Data Fabric and Analytics Solution. That's the contract that Palantir won. On top of that, it says Army Competitive 823 million IDIQ, which means indefinite delivery and indefinite quantity. So IDIQ contracts are kind of open-ended. Well, the limits are defined, but because this is a service-based contract, the change order can very well add few more millions to the contract. But the really exciting part is the second part that's mentioned in the contract. The contract is for Data Fabric and Analytics Solution. Now, Data Fabric alone, right here, is one of the top 10 trends of 2021. And when you see the main headline, you know that this is going to be much bigger than US Army. Data Fabrics means coordinating and collecting the data across all domains, which means US Army is just a start because we are going to see huge adoption of Data Fabric and Analytics Solution across the government domain. And let's not just remain in government. I think this is coming to the commercial side for Palantir as well. Now, little history about the contract. So, to prove the Palantir's domination, in February of 2020, Palantir and BAE Systems has named as the finalist for the order under this program. There were 6 companies who had originally submitted the proposal. But in June of 2020, BAE announced that it has received an initial order under the program, sometimes referred as Capability Drop 2. But looks like Palantir had won the bid and will be the sole provider. This is massive because this shows the massive domination Palantir has in the government world. Now, let's look at the chart and the stock and see how it reacted to the post market. So on your screen is the chart right as soon as the news is announced. And I'm talking about at about like 7 o'clock. And we can see this huge green candle as soon as the news is announced, everybody got so excited, and then boom, the volume went up right here and the price went up almost $3 from the market close. Now, when I'm recording this video, there are about 54 million shares already traded, and we haven't even closed the market yet. So by the time we close the market, I could see about 55 to 56 million. We don't know the exact number, but I feel that many shares will be traded on Tuesday. So this is really, really good news for Palantir. And I feel that Palantir has this huge, I would say 2750 was the resistance before. Now I feel that maybe around close to like $28 or $30 is where we have this huge resistance. And we have seen many times Palantir come close, touch, come down, close, and come down. So I really feel, and I hope, that this bullish run pushes Palantir above $30 mark. I really hope so, because $830 contract, that to IDIQ, it's a pretty big deal in my opinion, just coming from one government department. So now it'll be interesting to see what Palantir does in the open market, but I feel if Palantir can cross through that $27.50 and then $28 and around $29, then we can see Palantir go up towards the $30 mark or even cross the $30 mark. Now, Palantir's Q3 earnings are coming up, and they're just around the corner. And I feel that Palantir is going to surprise with the expected revenue and also will post stronger government numbers. As I have mentioned in my previous videos, that Q3 is going to be very strong for Palantir on the government side because that's the end of their fiscal year and they will post some contracts like these ones. And before that, they just won another $70 million contract. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what they post for Q3. Now, this contract was announced today, so I really don't think they can show it in the books for Q3. This is a 7-year-long contract. So we really can't take all 800 million and show it in Q3 or Q4. That's not going to happen. And because this is IDIQ, they will be realizing the revenue as and when government process the orders. I'm more interested to see what they report on the commercial side, which I feel has more legs for Palantir and a bigger market for Palantir. Regardless, this will be an interesting quarter for Palantir because this will be the first quarter where they are not awarded the contract just because of pandemic or to fight pandemic. Hope I provided some value, and if you liked the video, then consider subscribing and hit the like button so we can reach out to more Palantir lovers. As always, an absolute pleasure to be with you all. Love you all. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.